got pyjamas on. Looks like a pyjama shirt. B1 B1 here. Did it live yesterday, got trounced on. This censorship, just in case you don't know, is worse than it's ever been in the last 4 years. They are absolutely trouncing on me. And when you look at what I'm saying, pretty telling. A lot of people out there spreading fear, talking absolute facts, but spreading fear. They seem to get a free rein. I'm telling everybody to have hope because we've won this and everyone's lost, and don't worry about what's happening and leading you back to yourselves, and I get censored. Anyway, just listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival. Love that band. I thought they were like some full-on deep south, maybe black dudes who come from right down in the bottom of America there, but I watched the documentary on Netflix about them. They were just a bunch of white dudes who'd never even been there. Captured that really cool, just deep south sound, just really authentic, but they'd never even been there. They were just imagining what the sound would like. They were imagining being there. I thought that was quite cool. Reminded me of a story. It's in a famous book, I can't remember which one, but it was talking about a guy who'd been in jail for like 30, 40 years. Long time, like solitary confinement. I forget which book it was, but he got out eventually and went and played golf. And he hit like a 14 under. First game of golf he's played for 40 years, and he hit like a professional level round. And no one could believe it. And he said, well, every day in that cell, he'd sat there and played a round of golf on all of the different courses of the world and courses that he'd imagined. He played them in his head. He'd imagine teeing off, he'd imagine who he was with, he'd imagine the wind, he'd imagine the weather, the rain, he'd imagine the ball, the different clubs, everything. It's a really intricate game of golf. 18 holes every day. He'd fuck shots up and he'd get shots and he'd hit shots and he'd practice his swing and everything in his head in solitary confinement. And he got out and hit a 14 under. Power of the mind. Anyone who knows me knows I'm the intuition guy. Wrote a book called The Art of Shush, which I highly recommend. You can buy it on bradygunn.com, and it's all about intuition. When you think about doing thinking, which is what I did for a whole heap of years, just doing thinking, just thinking, just hamster wheel going round and round and round. That's one thing. And then there's three types of thinking. There's that thinking that really gets you nowhere. There's mathematical thinking that gets you the right change at the shops or figures out a maths problem. And then there's having thoughts, which come from a very different place. When you're daydreaming and you're wallowing around in your dreams, that's having thoughts. They come from a very different place. I think all religions say it, and a lot of spiritual leaders say everything started with a thought, and everything did start with a thought. Everything that you can see in your vision right now started with a thought. All the world in itself, if you want my opinion, but including nature, and the universe, but also every invention that you can ever see. That video game that's so intricate, that's got so many infinite options in it, and all these really intricate characters and tasks, and that started with someone just sat down, and then that came out eventually. Everything started with a thought. So we've got to dare to dream here. I was talking about it yesterday. We have won this. It's going to get rocky, and it's not as easy as that, but we have won this. But you've got to dare to dream. Breathe, man. Breathe. Let it all in, let it all out. But keep breathing and dare to dream, because we do get this, but you have to have a clear vision of it. Don't worry about the how. I know for some of you, you're looking up, well, that's all very well to say, but it's not what I'm seeing when I look out the window. Looks like absolute carnage out there. And it is, and it still will be. It's not as bad as you think, though, but it still will be. But you've got to dare to dream. Don't worry about the how. Look at this world that we are going to create. It's full of sanity and fairness. And make sure that you know that we get there. Very, very important. Don't worry about the how. Just look at the goal. We might get peppered with stuff and buckets of water or acid or whatever thrown over us on the path there, but we do get there. We do get there. Who's stronger? All of us. They've poached too many tigers. We've all banded together. The farmers are with the anti-vaxxers and the 5Gers. They've just brought us all together when we weren't even talking to each other before. Poached too many tigers, created too much unity. So who's stronger? All of us together, which is basically 99%, or a bunch of extremely weak, quite stupid, really. They've had the luxury of getting their own way. Bunch of mummies, boys and girls who are implementing this stuff. They've got no other way but to try and bring in this misinformation and disinformation bill. Mummy, somebody's telling the truth. Love ya, ciao.